to tell us about these tools that you're giving to men and young boys to sort of grow up and understand the responsibilities they have.
So really, #no excuse is about there's absolutely no excuse for gender-based violence. This thing of abuse is not the stranger we think we'll meet on the street, but abantu abasondelene nathi. Because it's such a big issue, everybody needs to get involved.
And also for us as men, a lot of broken men as well out there. We need to also look ourselves in the mirror. It's so sad to see, and it's so sad to hear what we read, what we see, what's happening in our communities, and the youth is the future.
A good man waters his fields, A good man uses his strength for good. So as for Nugushuguti, we want weak men. We don't want men that are masculine, but you can use your strength for good to love and protect.
Should I beef this up? Hey, the coach must lead by example on TV. Yeah. Sometimes the chairman would also coach. But so you can give the chairman praise. Sign now, we give you money now. He even took the money out. I know you're struggling. Come and play for me. But, at home, I come from a shack, My mom is struggling. At least if I can get something. Every time he sees me, he's like, because of you, have stretch marks under my arm because of you. So every time I tease him about that, man, what a human being. Even if you're Mjula, you go past, he'll tickle you with the tongue, you'll fall. He'll tickle you with the tongue.
This one, a lot of coaches gonna find. Ooh, yo.
There's no one that can question Bernard Parker's work ethic. And you can question anything about his football, but his work rate, never.
100%.
Who's he didn't rest.
Jele. Zobuga. Imali noma ibhokisi awuthukhethe ibhokisi kuvele phuma OB.KNOWS Jele bavula isikhwama esikhulu bakhipha isikhwama esincane bavala isikhwama esikhulu bavula isikhwama esincane bakhipha iDiski Dine bakhipha amagesti kanokusho wozobona ezodlala iDiski Dine.
We can't shy away that there's a lot of gender-based violence in our communities. I knew from a very young age that I'm shy. I love the game because it can build you as a human being, It has made me who I am today. Kasi flavor means creativity to me. It means flair. Means self-expression. This jersey will inspire and raise awareness. We also designed the signatures for people who have pledged. Gents, Buffett, there's injury time on the field, but the real injury happens off the field. Win or lose, there's no excuse for abuse.
Welcome to another edition of iDiski Dine, and thank you so much for engaging with the content and making sure that you're telling a friend to tell a friend about, dining with the stars. And that's what we do right here. We break bread with the stars and we make sure to bring more and more people. As of course, you are subscribing and doing all of that. The guests here, they become fresher and fresher as we go. So it's the same thing as we've been doing, of course, dining with the stars. That's what we do right here. And it's no different because today we've got someone he'll tell you that he's got PSLR. He's the highest top goal scorer for Kaizer Chiefs, first and foremost. You might already know what I'm talking about, right? He's wore that armband for Kaizer Chiefs. He scored in some derbies as well. He'll tell us a little bit more about that. But right now, he's currently the coach of TS Galaxy's DDC team, and that's none other than Deont Bernard Parker. And he's right here, of course. He's with the Coco. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Ops. You know why I'm here.
For the food.
Yeah, for the food. Thank you for yet another invite. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm privileged to be next to this guy.
Sure.
This guy made us happy.
Yeah.
I celebrated a victory against Spain because
Sure.
of this guy.
Because of this man.
Because of this man.
But I want to understand from the man sitting across us why he has this man here today.
Shonja, I'm ready.
Some vision.
Thank you guys. You're watching iDiski Dine again, and thanks for subscribing and likes and your comments. We keep on pushing. You guys are the one that push us every day. And yeah, I brought the legends today, brother. Sure. The legend. Umuntu bekangihluphe phambili. Ngishaya part le uthi yo every day bangidlala namo iPad.
Sure.
From Benni.
Sure.
Thunder
Zulu. National team.
Sure.
Kaizer Chiefs ngila. TS Galaxy ngila baba. All the time. Benni Parker.
Sure.
They want.
Thank you, skipper.
Bro. Thanks for coming, bro. Thanks for coming.
It's a pleasure.
We're now irregular.
That's what does.
We don't have to.
This is home.
Yeah, this is home, man. Yeah, promise, little legend.
Yeah. And you guys are, of course, wearing the hashtag No Excuse t-shirts. And for those at home who don't know about the campaign, of course, we'll be chatting a little bit more about it as the show goes. The two gentlemen across me are, of course, the ambassadors of the No Excuse campaign. It's got something to do with gender-based violence, so stick around for more of the tools that us men and young men can use to be better and be, standing men within the community. But before we get to that, I must say, I've met this man twice. The first time I interviewed him, I was working for a certain company. I was working for a certain company. And you know when you're about to interview someone whom, like you're saying, he's made us so happy, right? And I was nervous. But then I was not so nervous when I saw him because he was also nervous. So I was like, oh, Bernard. It was always a pleasure. The second time I met him, I was at the TS Galaxy training grounds. As I walk in, I'm not expecting this. You meet a lot of people and they forget your name. This man did it. This man was like, OB! I was like, whoa, is that Bernard Parker? So it speaks for me, the humility of the man. Your levels did not, diminish who you were as a person and what you always believed in, your core values. And we appreciate that. So thank you for coming through, Bernard. And I want to start off by speaking about the current DDC. How are things going there?
Oh, cool, man. Thanks for having me, guys. It's really an honor and a real pleasure to be on the show. I've been following the show.
Sure.
I was laughing at the last show you had with Umaut. That guy's crazy. He's still crazy. He's still crazy. And so of a lot of greats that's been on the show.
Sure.
It's just an honor and a privilege to be here. And let's see. Let the numbers go up, man. Let the numbers go up.
Sure.
Skip up. The more you bring here.
We started like this. Who was doing this? You,
Machoro
Machoro was doing this.
For sure.
So tell us, man, the new journey that you took now. You've been last season being a player, and now you're a coach. How are you holding up there?
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I love it. When you first start your soccer career, you just can't wait to be at the field. You just can't wait to develop and improve. Same feeling as a coach. Always want to be there first, do the pitch inspection. I'm a player.
You were coming late all the time.
Hey, I'm a player. They're coming late all the time.
Not you, the players.
Not me.
You!
Me, no. One scenario. National team.
National team, when we have late meeting, or come late,
okay.
Or we'll call you in your room, then someone will fetch you there. You were always late.
Maybe the time I was freshly married that time. I was drunk in love. Still is, but yeah, we live and we learn. Yeah. And as Obra Opi said, core values is very, very important. And having that core values attached to your career, it really, really gives a boost to yourself and also takes you further within this beautiful game of football. And it's been a great journey, man. It's been a great journey. I love the journey, happy. I can proudly say that, I've got no regrets, no regrets at all. And now I'm enjoying the coaching part. Hey, and the grey hair is starting to come out slowly.
Yeah, the grey hair, you always die now.
Now you have to eat. Lungisa, only for TV. But when I'm out of here, I'm grey again. Yeah, but other than that, it's part of the game.
Sure.
I want to ask you there, because I've been noticing there's a huge change in the DDC.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent that's coming from the DDC. Almost like now you are expected to produce talent.
For sure.
Do you feel that there's more pressure now in the DDC than the first team? Because the first team, they can say survive relegation and that's it. But now the DDC give us, the other team, they've produced 5 stars. Why are you not able to give us 2?
You see,
is it like that now?
Yes, it is like that. Knowing Galaxy, we sell no matter what. No matter what, we want to make money.
Sure.
We sell. So the quick we sell, the more pressure on myself and my technical staff in terms of producing the next player in that particular position. To take over from the departed player who got sold. But other than that, so far so good, man. I've got a good bunch of youngsters. I personally went and handpicked them everywhere in the 4 corners of our country. And so far so good. We're doing well. We're competing good. And not to brag, but I would say this is TS Galaxy's best DDC team that they had since their existence in the PSL. And that shows that we're on the right track. So we just want to keep making sure we do the right thing and we keep producing for the first team.
And what are those metrics that are showing you that this is the best? I mean, not to look down on the achievement that you guys have had, but what are the metrics that you're looking at that tell you guys that this is actually the best we've had as EDDC for TS Galaxy?
Yes, because first and foremost, I through my experience, it's very, very important to first identify the human being before the soccer star. Good human beings become good soccer stars. And me identifying the human being and then, teaching them the values of life and also psychologically psych them up and knowing that their dream is just a step away, and that has been very, very key. There were a lot of other good players that were here that were better than what I have, and just because of their personality and the way they carry themselves, it's not so healthy to the group. So it's very important to keep a healthy group, good human beings. And if the human part comes first, then the soccer player the professional soccer player will eventually come out. But then if you do not have the human part and you just want to focus on the soccer player, 2-3 years down the line, we're going to lose that particular player. So the bond has been strong, the chemistry in the team and the brotherhood has been strong, and that has been. It's been helping, and that has brought growth within the squad.
That's a great answer. I mean, it just tells.
Now
close attention to the team.
The coach, you can listen. Sure. You ask the question, he answers.
He answers like a coach.
Now he answers like a coach. He goes deeper and deeper.
There's a formation to this answer.
From the back, middle,
to the goalpost. I hear that. I want to take it back to when you were on the other side. When coaches were looking at you and say, this one is the next one. And Happy's story starts out in Mpumalanga, but you've always been a Gauteng boy. Coming out of Recha Park, right? What's the informal settlement's name?
Ramaphosa. Don't forget our president. Yes,
Ramaphosa. President, Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
But I want to start off because your journey, to Benoni Premier United doesn't really start with Benoni Premier United. There's School of Excellence, and there was Sundowns in the middle. And I want to find out because this man grew up supporting Sundowns. And I want to find out from you, what led to you not actually joining Mamelodi Sundowns at the time? Because youngster and Sundowns is calling, I'm sure that's an attractive move that you'd want to make.
Oh, yes. When I was at the School of Excellence, there were Sundowns through the leadership of Ted Tumitru at that time at Sundowns, you know. He was a lot involved in the school because he was also an ex-coach of the school. So he came and he came and pinched the likes of Sipo Nunens and the likes, you know. And when I matriculated, Coach Cabo Zondo, who doesn't stay far from me in the east, you know, he comes from Vosloorus. He said to me, you know, the coach has said that everybody that the development setup should always look at the school first in terms of player recruitment. If not elsewhere, then if you can get somebody better, you can. And I was one of the lucky players, you know, that got scouted by Coach Cabo Zondo, and then I played.
Everyone was scouted by
Cabo
Cabo Zondo. Like Cabo Zondo's got a lot of players that is scouted in the game.
I'm telling you, a lot.
Yo,
He's a legend. He's a legend.
I'm one of them as well.
Oh, okay. So okay, we are together. Yeah, at some stage I even slept at his house, you know. You know, yes. You know, because just to get that lift going to Klorkop. And I performed well in the reserve league at that time. It's now called the DDC. And I was one of the outstanding players in the reserve league. And I said to Coach Cabo, when am I going to get to the first team? And he says, Benni, I forget. Forget. Yeah. No, not even still early. He says, forget, because Sundowns now at that time, they bought Gift Leremi, they bought Villagazi, they bought Peter and Glove. Yes. They bought top players, you know.
Even that's when Josta was coming in at that time.
Yeah,
that's the era.
That's the era. And he was like, forget, you won't get to the first team. I said, okay, no, fine. But, you know, at home, I come from a shack, you know. My mom is struggling. At least if I can get something, just for transport, nothing else, just for transport up and down, at least something, because mom is struggling. You know, all the way from Rega Park to Florkop, you know, taking train. And sometimes I don't have a taxi fare. I have to jump train in and train out to get to there because I wanted to be there. And then eventually I got into the office. I signed a piece of paper. Not even a contract. I can't even remember. It's a one-pager. It's like a one-pager, piece of paper, one page, like an incentive kind of thing, you know. And they said to me, no, don't worry, we'll pay you this amount for the month, and then you'll be able to travel up and down. First month came, second month came, third month came, and I was like, Coach Cabo, I'm not going to come anymore. What's going on? Yes. Then Coach Cabo had to take money out of his own pocket, you know, give me to go up and down. Until Benoni United came, because now Coach Sam Mbata was also at the school. When he left the school, he remembered us, you know, and then he went to Benoni, and then...
Oh, that's why you went to Benoni.
Exactly. And then...
And they bought the status, ne?
Yes, and they bought the state. No, they were in the NFD.
Okay.
They bought the Hellenic status.
Yeah.
And then they got relegated to the NFD.
Yeah.
And then Ubra Dumi with the Bob haircut. Who was the chairman at that time, may his soul rest in peace. He came with Coach Sam, and then they said to me, oh, Bernard, sign now, we give you money now. He even took the money out. I know you're struggling. Come and play for me. And then I went because I trusted Coach Sam, because he knows me from all these years. And then I went and I played for Benoni. I think it was the best decision I ever made.
But you know, yes. You're speaking about the School of Excellence as if it's just a phase.
No. You know,
that thing, the training that's happening in there, and I think for the character, we take it light. You know, these boys, 5 a.m. until 10 o'clock every single day, they only get one day off.
Yes.
Was it also like that?
Routine, daily routine.
He's
correct.
But you're a coach anyway. But let me tell you something with some of the rules that were there. In the morning they go and train. 8 o'clock they go to school. 2 o'clock they go to training. Later they train because they were training maybe 3 times or twice a day. Then later it's study. 10 o'clock they switch off the lights.
Yeah. It was like that. Yes, from the morning if you do not shower before 6, after 6 there's no hot water.
There's
They
no
switch
water.
off the geyser. There's no hot water. So you are forced to wake up at that time. And also uniform inspection as well. You have to be, proper.
Results.
Yes.
Results.
School results. You have
We
to
take it
stop
lightly.
everything. If those things are not in line, you get sidelined. Then you must sit and watch training and be bored and stuff
I've
like
heard
that.
there
Yes.
by school of excellence, you used to steal uniform for guys. When someone is hanging his clothes there by the washing line,
Standard.
and you wear. If
Standard.
you didn't iron your t-shirt, you take this one and you wear.
Yes, or maybe it's torn or something.
Yeah.
You're like, Ish, what am I gonna do now? Then you make a plan. Then you make a plan.
The structure that's there,
For sure.
the development of a player holistically there.
Yeah.
We really take it lightly. And that's why the players that come from that institution, they can just survive
Yes.
anywhere.
Anyway, correct. Yes, we still with friends. We keep in contact on Facebook and stuff like that. They got good jobs. Them in other careers, good jobs, just because of those core values and routine and discipline that was all instilled in us. We make it out there, as you said earlier on, an upstanding man in the community. So I would say, if we can replicate and have more of the School of Excellence in each and every of our 9 provinces. I think we should have been far.
Yeah,
we should have been far. Yes.
Shoo.
I
Fast
think
forward it
break
now.
eyes kancane.
Okay.
Ukuthi bekadlala nabantu abashisayo or bekayenzani. Let's see it kancane. Who was your best player in your old career?
Best player. Sure. That I played against or just in general?
General and play against. Ngibale nawe, I'm here.
Yo. I would say Benni McCarthy.
Why don't you come
know.
But now these guys are not going to give you food, man. Should I beef this up?
Hey, the coach must lead by example on TV. Yeah. But I take a piece of chicken, please. Take a piece of chicken.
Don't be scared. I'll
Yeah. So Benni McCarthy was my first inspiration as when I was at the school with that Burkina Faso 4 goals he scored in the AFCON, and then I just started idolizing him, putting pictures up on the wall, following him and wanting to become like him. And then he made it successful, he made it big, and he played at the highest level. So all these years, he's been somebody I looked up to. And although there were better players and best players after him or before him, but in my eyes, he's the best ever. And also because he's South African. And then the best I played against was Sergio Ramos.
And you scored against him.
just say I played.
That's my player for
That guy is a soldier.
Yeah,
He's a
that's my player
soldier.
for
Even
team.
if you're ruler, you go past, he'll tackle you with a tongue. You'll fall. He'll tackle you with the tongue. That's the true. That guy, he's a soldier. He's a soldier of note.
Who was the Spain goalkeeper that you chipped the ball over?
Victor Valdez.
Valdez.
Yeah, sure. And remember Spain was doing the world tour after winning the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, and they came back to South Africa to play against us under the leadership of Gordon Egerson. Yes. And we made history. Yes.
Shy Spain, but
Shy Spain.
And they were trying to cheat us out of making that history. Remember when they were trying to make an extra sub? So it doesn't Reggie,
Yes. It was FIFA record.
FIFA had to come out and say, actually,
Exactly.
This one, a lot of coaches gonna fight. Who?
Yo.
A coach that take
Out to best in the game. And the game. Sure.
when you're playing for this coach,
Yeah.
you'll die. You're in another level.
if you don't mention the Tanda era, you and I are going to fight.
Hey, what Thunder also.
Tanda, you are just on another level.
I was in another level. But also coaches came and gone there. And left and right, Sometimes the chairman would also coach. But
So you can give the chairman praise.
but then I've never played on the club level under Coach Pitso Musumani, on the club level, but at national team, I used to play under him. That guy, top. That guy gets into you before he would get to the field. His man management skill is just on another level. He will call, he will sit you down, he'll speak to you, he'll explain to you what you need to improve on, what's the do's, what's the don'ts, and that's why probably he's brought out such a lot of great talented players, and also ordinary players that became up being household players as well. And he's by far the best that I got coached by. And what a human being. His humility is something else. As we said, football is a game of the human spirit.
Sure.
It's a game of human spirit. We should not forget that. Football is a game of human spirit. And Coach Peter's got that human spirit. That's why players fight for him.
Sure.
Okay.
I know she has the same sentiment now.
Three best goals.
Okay.
Your three best goals.
The first one, as I also said, against Spain.
Yeah.
That is the chip, historical. Class also.
Sure.
What do you call it? Class, flair.
The timing, everything.
What do you call it? The timing, everything. And then there's a goal I scored. A second one is a goal I scored for Chiefs. It's my fourth goal against Amazulu, when I scored 4 goals in one game against Amazulu. Another chip.
It's a chip.
Yes.
It's a way, Devin.
In Durban, yes.
Kapini was looking
Kapini, yes, at the iconic Moses Mabhida Stadium. And Kapini was seeing the stars. While the ball went in the back of the net. And the last important goal, it wasn't in a important stage in the CAF Champions League, but it was the goal that took us through to the knockout stages against Wydad at FNB for Kaizer Chiefs. And then when we went into the knockout stages, we went all the way to the final. So that was a very, very important goal that I scored. So I would think that's the top 3.
When I think of the goals that you score, you scored some amazing goals. But there's this one goal. It was a free kick. It was in the Soweto derby.
Why did you go there?
We are talking about his goals. So why should we not go there?
It was a great goal.
When he ended up kissing the poker, I don't know what was happening there. But you curled it. You curled it. If you remember the Cristiano Ronaldo goal against Spain, the free kick. That's like, such technique. It was very rare to witness it.
We should have seen it in slow motion as well, Goes like this. And then every time he sees me, he's like, because of you, I've got stretch marks under my arm because of you. So every time I tease him about that, man, what a human being. And
I should have not started this topic.
Should have not started.
Should have not started this topic.
Hardy, skipper. Hardy.
Okay, skip. You also scored in the dub.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Tell us about that one, skipper.
Tell us.
But then,
It was a fluke.
No, it was not a fluke.
You didn't win. You didn't win on the day.
No, we lost 2-1.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, we lost 2-1.
So it was a consolation.
No, it was not a consolation. We were coming if we had another 10 minutes.
You ran out of time.
Yeah, we ran out of time. If there was another 10 minutes, we ran out of time on that day. So another 10 minutes. Because on that day we were coming.
Yeah.
And there's a time when we won the treble.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, you killed us. 3-1 twice. Home and away. But home and away is the same home.
It's the home.
It's
the same home. No, beautiful memories.
I want to take it back to what you just mentioned now. Glad the Coco brought it up. Thanda Royal Zulu. I think what's most interesting about that time, I think you're about 20, 21, 22 years of age at the time. And you're playing with the likes of Oscara Gobese, Clement Massi.
You play against Skara?
With
or against?
Skara.
That Pete and Logo.
Forgetting Patrick Mayo.
Pete and Logo.
Oh, Pete and Logo.
Benedum Goon.
But you were the captain at the age of 22. He was the captain of the team.
I can mention he was the chairman's bra.
No. I know Chulai Mashang was the captain.
He was also there, Chulai Mashang.
Yes, he was the captain at Benoni United. And when Benoni got sold to Thunder Royal Zulu, he didn't move with us. Our ex-chairman, Mr. Dumisana Drobe, wanted to sell him because he wasn't part of the deal. And then he couldn't sell him and Tsepo Masilela. And then Tsepo Masilela got sold to Israel. And Mr. Ndlovu McCarthy Haifa. And Mr. Ndlovu couldn't sell Mahlangu. Then I was appointed as captain. And then later on when he joined, it's Adi Baba, Adi. They chose already.
So, but that pressure though, being a 22-year-old, seeing all these faces in the changing room, some of these guys who have did it to the highest level that they ever could. How do you get to that level, and what really put you to the level where you believed also that you could lead these guys?
Just because I was a good listener. I was a very good listener. They were advising me with certain stuff. They were suggesting certain stuff, and I would follow their lead. By all means, I would follow their lead, and I think that's why they embraced my captaincy, and also that's why the blessing from them came onto me, so that I can even perform at my best. So when things come up, I would also ask advice from them. You know, the likes of Peter Ndlovu, who played at the highest level in England. He was very close to me. Clement Aseka Slam from the East. You know, we would talk and come up with certain things, whether it's football related or whether it's team building, and I would basically just be the face.
So everything was done in the background.
Yes, and you know, and lead by example on the field of play.
Sure.
You know, lead by example, always hardworking and banging in the goals. So yeah.
Yeah, but there's no one that can question Bernard Parker's work ethic. And you can question anything about his football, but his work rate, never.
100%.
Who's happy? He didn't rest. Making
I didn't rest too.
It was always tough playing against Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a tricky player. You know, it's a player that always, you never know what he's gonna do. 2 minutes is gonna run behind your shoulder. 2 minutes, he wants it short. You know, so it's very tricky when you're marking one of the players like this, doing like that, because you must always go with him. Oh, must I stay? You know, sometimes I'll let him get the ball because he wants it short. It's easy when you mark a person in front is facing you, rather than when they chip the ball, you have to turn because he's got an advantage and he's skillful as well. Sure. So it take you to the box, it's a penalty.
Take it to the box is a penalty. And that was Bernard Parker, man. You know, if you got the opportunity to run in behind, he was gone. And when we were speaking about goals, I think of Loftus Versfeld. Chiefs were wearing black up against Sundowns. Peace into the back of the net. For me, that's my favorite goal.
Yeah.
For me, that's
2-1
my
it
favorite
ended.
goal.
Yes.
Ended
2-1 it ended.
2-1 it ended.
Ngezana
There's a lot of goals.
Ngezana scored the other goal.
Yes, from the side, free kick.
Because
And wasn't that
it's
his
the
debut?
hard
That was
taste
his
that you
debut
gave
game.
me. So
That was
heartache.
Ngezana's first game, if I'm not
it was in
mistaken.
Ngezana's east.
The
Maybe
heartache. Yeah,
he's
that
compared to the coach.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct. You know, when it was a long ball, and then they won the ball, the first ball, and then X-Stain pick up the second ball.
Oh, what a player.
Yes, what a player. He picked up the second ball, and then as he controlled it, and he controlled it on a bounce because the ball was coming aerially, and he controlled it on the bounce. Then I immediately recognized the space behind. I turned, and he played it over on the bounce. He played it over, and I'm going full speed. And I'm going full speed, and I'm seeing Madisha is coming. Madisha was young, may soul rest in peace. He was young and energetic. He caught up to me, and I could see him here, happy on the side mirror. I could see him, and I volleyed. The guy went.
He was gone.
He went. He went for a shower, straight to the dressing room. Yes,
It's tricky for us defenders, ne?
very tricky.
Because
Very
if
tricky.
you don't dive there,
Yeah, and he scored.
he scores.
Exactly. Yes.
So what are you gonna do? If you dive, you're going there, take an early shower, come back.
Yes, and then as I brought the ball down, I looked up. Onyango was also moved by the fake. He was also moved. Yes, because he wanted to cover the near post. And then as I looked up, he was already on the near post. And then I slowly passed it. I could see it doesn't need any power. I just slowly passed it.
No, you just placed it.
Placement.
Just a poof.
Slowly passed into the net.
What a goal. That's one of my favorite goals.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite goals. But let's move it backwards. You join from Tandarel Zulu. A lot of people might be expecting, maybe one of the big dogs are going to come and pick him up, in the local scene. A Chiefs, a Pirates, a Sundowns is going to, sign you. But you go abroad to Red Star Belgrade, and a lot of people don't know, well, they know the name. But when they see it on TV, they don't see Red Star Belgrade. They see another name. Please, what's the name? What's the name of that team?
It's called Crvena Zvezda.
Crvena Zvezda.
Crvena Zvezda.
Crvena Zvezda.
Yes, it's Red Star, Crvena Zvezda.
It's just a translation.
It's just a translation, yes. And they got a star, They won the Champions League in the early 90s. They were the Champions League that they won, and it's a great history. A big club with great history. Enormous. No, I only played Champions League when I went to FC Twente later on. Yes.
This guy's one of our great exports.
Yeah. And then you get the goosebumps.
Yo, man, I can imagine.
Crazy. Yes, but then before I went to Red Star, I visited the village. Yes. So Coach Mushinir Tegral actually got me to come to the village. And Mr. Bobim Taong gave me a tour. This is the chairman's office, blah, blah, blah. This is the blah, where. And then I was about to make the move to Chiefs. And this Crvena Zvezda deal came up. And I was supposed to go on trial. Yes. But then papers were all done and all that. I have to go for trial. And then Chiefs came, and I said, okay, I'll go and for the Chiefs option. And then Crvena Zvezda changed their mind, and they said, no, we want to buy him immediately. So then I went that side, and I only played there for 6 months. And I made a great impact at the club. And it was in the same year, Happy, when it was the FIFA Confederations Cup here in South Africa. Yes, 2009. So at the end of the season at Crvena Zvezda, we played the FIFA Confederations Cup, and that's where I got the eye of FC Twente.
Okay. I was wondering that, like, where did Steve McCarthy see you, before bringing you in?
Confed, Baba.
Confed, right?
Yeah.
Big stage.
And you play all games there, no?
Yeah.
Confed, you play all.
I played all the games. Yes, I played all the games.
Remember New Zealand? I was in New Zealand.
It was New Zealand. I scored against New Zealand, Iraq. Yes, it was Iraq and Australia.
Wasn't there a goal you blocked as well?
And then no, KG Dihacho blocked the goal.
Okay.
Yes, KG Dihacho, he blocked the goal. Yes.
It was going in.
It was going in. Yes, I think yes. Mpela tried to score. Yes, and then Dihacho was on the line. Yes, and Dihacho was on the line. So yes, so I had a great FIFA Confederations tournament.
No, you had a great tournament.
Top.
You had a great
Yes,
tournament.
striking with the Lito, Kilampel. The kid one he gave Casillas. Crazy. Yes. So then Steve McLaren gave me a call, and he called me and he said to me, Bernard, I want you at FC Twente. I said, can you please speak to my manager, my agent? He says, your agent is the one who gave me your number. So I'm telling you directly, this is a confirmation that I want you immediately. So then I made the transition from Zvezda to FC Twente. And in our first year, he compiled a great team. And in that first year, we won the league. And imagine at that time, Ajax was so strong. Ajax had the likes of Luis Suarez, Emmanuelson, Stecklenburg in goal, De Jong, as well. Huntelaar left already. Yes, he left already to Germany. But they had a strong team. And then later on, you remember Inoki Young.
Yeah, Ino.
Yes. He also later joined Ajax the same year when I joined FC Twente. So they had a strong team, and we managed to overcome them. We managed to make history, and we became the golden generation of FC Twente. In their existence of over 50 years, we're the only team that won the league. So I'm part of history till today. Part of history.
Are you being celebrated that side?
Yes, definitely. We've been celebrated that side, and I always said I wanted to go and visit the club, but my every off season was there.
You know, asking this.
Yes,
South African players, especially legends,
Yeah.
get more celebrated outside the country
yes.
than here.
Yeah, true.
Like it's the most baffling thing.
Yeah.
You've given us great memories with the Confed Cup. You've given us goals against Spain. Soweto Davies won.
Yeah.
You won the league for Kaizer, but
Yeah.
you get celebrated more from
Yeah.
that short period that
Yes.
the impact.
The impact, exactly. So that is actually sad because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us who do not get celebrated or given our flowers, or maybe use an example to inspire the next upcoming generation. We really need to look in that kind of way as well, so that we can continue. We can continue the continuation. Just through inspiration and just through by the young boy, child, girl, child looking up to us, as examples. And then OP, that same year we won the league, we automatically qualified for Champions League. Yeah?
Yes. Ila ngifuna khona.
Champions League.
Champions League.
But then I was on the bench on all 5 games of the 6, but I never got to come in as a sub. But I got to be there.
You were there.
I got to be there. I was there. I can remember we were in the group. It was Group G with Inter Milan. Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan. They went on to win it. They went on to win it. Tottenham Hotspur made the Champions League for the first time in their history. Abu Gareth Bale,
That's when Bale was
Luka Modric. Yes.
Bale was hot at the
Abu Bale, Luka
Play
Modric.
against Bale, bro.
Yeah.
Play against Bale.
I was there to watch you guys. Vodacom challenge. Vodacom challenge, bro. I
And I
saw
was
that.
marking Bale.
You didn't just play a game. Are you guys yeah, just like no, you just you see the supporters are taking a leaf from you because you just like downplaying these things. It's like I played a game. No, Baba, you outclassed. Okay. So you must say it proper.
And I score against
Yeah,
Tottenham.
don't even go
Long range.
Don't beat the bush. Don't beat around the bush. Say it. Orlando Pirates outlast.
Yo, bafethu. Ngayifuna le clip.
Yes,
Ngayiphosta njalo.
so if you see it
Ngayiphosta njalo.
As
Oh,
we told, for sure.
right now we're going to have to park the conversation just for a short while as we let Lekoko go. We're bringing in, of course, as we said at the beginning of the show, that we'll be chatting all things to do with the hashtag No Excuse campaign they're calling Black Label. We've got the brand manager who'll be here, and she's going to be breaking down a little bit more about this campaign. And we still have a lot more to talk about with Bennett Parker himself.
Ngicabanga kakhulu kusho ukuthini ukuba umpetha.
Vir my, 'n kampioen op die veld is ook 'n kampioen in sy gemeenskap.
Amadoda angompetha enza umhlaba ube ngcono.
A champion man reaches out before he lashes out. Amadoda angompetha athi phansi ngodlame kubantu besifazane.
Bakithi, the real injuries happen off the field.
Win or lose, there is no excuse.
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
There is no excuse for gender-based violence.
Iba umpetha oza noshintsho manje.
The real injury time stops now.
Majita, let's be champion men in our society. Loko lava kupuniwa, ifikelele.
Let's use our strength for good.
To love and protect. Organjan bafethu.
Join our team of champion men.
And let's be champions for our women.
And we're back right here on iDiski Dine. And as I just mentioned, of course, Ucox has, left the buildings. He has a substitute. You know what happens at the grounds when that happens? We bring in a super sub, and what I'm talking about right now, as I did mention before we went to that little short ad break, is that we're chatting all things to do with the Carling Black Label #NoExcuse campaign. I did say that we're going to be joined by the brand manager, and she's here, and she's saying these guys are acting like they don't miss her. They're saying these guys, they're acting like they don't miss her. Her name is Nonjabulo Ndwandwe. Thank you so much for joining us and gracing us with your presence, ma'am.
Thank you so much. What an honor, Gabonga. Good to see you guys. Happy New Year.
Compliments.
Wow, guys, it's almost Feb. You guys haven't said Happy New Year to her. I hear what she's saying.
No, but you know sometimes it's work after work, work after work, work. Pelu yak dedicator, meluela. So asimboni. So the first time we see her this year.
I mean, Nonjabulo, as we mentioned, of course, we're chatting about the campaign of, #NoExcuse. And you being the brand manager, I'm hoping you could give us a little bit more light about the campaign as well.
Amazing. So first of all, just to contextualize, like these gentlemen have been part of the campaign. I think Happy's just joined like recently last year. Parker has been doing all the work, all these years. So really #NoExcuse is about there's absolutely no excuse for gender-based violence. There's nothing that any individual can ever do to justify that, it's acceptable. Because it's such a big issue, everybody needs to get involved. Yeah.
Sure. And Parker, I want to hear from you. I'm calling you Parker now. Hey, see, Nonjabulo.
They want.
Now I'm fair to it's Nonjabulo and Paisi.
Coach instruction is wrong, Baba. Coach instruction.
I want to hear from you, Benni, because you've been part of it for some time. Why? What made you want to be part of this campaign?
No, definitely. I've been doing a lot of work also on my foundation side as well, and mostly on the foundation side, we come across a lot of broken homes because of missing fathers, abusive fathers. And we know that every home needs a man, and every kasi or location or community needs an upstanding man or woman, in terms of making our families and our places a better place, and when I actually Nonjabulo knows that we actually kept knocking and thanks for the opportunity that I get to work now with the No Excuse campaign, and great work. And as soccer is the biggest following in South Africa and in football in globally as well, and us as footballers that also following, and it actually puts the message of a little bit more further out here, in everywhere where it needs to be reached. And it's so sad to see, and it's so sad to hear what we read, what we see, what's happening in our communities. And the youth is the future. Our women, we need to respect our women. Our woman goes through a lot. Our woman handles pain. They give birth. Their woman carries a lot. And by giving respect to our women and our children, it can make things better. And also for us as men, a lot of broken men as well out there. We need to also look ourselves in the mirror and and see how can we be better. What can we do better? Because we don't want our children, maybe I would say the next generation of the family to come up and deal the same as his father, what his father did, because he saw what his father done. Now he thinks he can also do that. And also in football as well. In football, there's a lot of cases that are happening with soccer players as well. We also as big brothers, as senior guys in football, we also need to touch the professionals also as well, in a way that we need to fight for change, as we said, the injury time. We need to look at the injury time.
We must spend the goals, not women. We must
injury
goals.
time, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. And the more we can try and push and get the message out there, the better we will become.
Thank you for coming here to share this message. And I want to hear from Skipper as well. I mean, you've just recently, been part of, the No Excuse campaign. I mean, your reasons behind it, because Bernard has really shared a lot.
Yeah, he shared a lot, and I think it's the same. But for me, that stood up, it's the lady that teach me a lot of things. She was alone in every way until I'm here now. So that thing, it shows me something that women are so special. I don't have to take a hand and beat the lady because of the way he does things, because there's a lot of responsibility of a woman that he does for men to be a better person. You know what I mean? They say in the house, if you don't have a woman, there's a problem. You know, you're always thinking about everything. You've got an anger and what, a lot of things. But if there's a woman, there's always a direction for your life. So for me, it's my mom who stood up about this campaign. I said I'm joining in because my mom was there since day one until now. You know, it shows that women in Bogoto, and let's take care of them, then our society will be great.
I mean, you must be happy with the brand ambassadors and their messages right here.
Yeah, and I think as a campaign like No Excuse, which really I wouldn't say is a campaign, I think it's a movement. We started it in 2017, and if sonke singakhumbula in South Africa, that's really when the peak, you know, or the spike, at least in the media and in us getting to know ukuthi there's so many cases of gender-based violence and femicide. That's when we were seeing in the news women being burnt, women being killed by their intimate partners. And I think that's when we understood ukuthi this thing of abuse is not the stranger we think we'll meet on the street, but abantu abasondelene nathi. It's people we trust in our communities. It's people who have access to us. So I think that's why it's so important. And Lupaka alluded to, you know, this year's iteration of the campaign, which is very closely linked to football. So Tina, through our research, we found ukuthi, you know, violence does spike after games, and that's because of the passion. In South Africa, soccer is part of our pulse, it's part of our heartbeat. Yeah. And in those moments, we find disibaningi where our passion, you know, can overwhelm us. And in some instances, that overwhelming or that passion does translate to interpersonal violence. So it doesn't just stay down, it gets carried through into our homes. And so we wanted to use soccer as an influence for good. There's so many households la eskhula khona without obaba. And so this father figure or this role is so important. And I believe that that's a role that only men can play. Yabo, as much as we have such strong women and oma, but they have a role to be women. And so we still do need men. And so in some of our other research, we found ukuthi, fortunately or unfortunately for you guys, because you are in a place where people love soccer so much and you play for teams that are part of communities, they become role models, whether they like it or not. And I think that's where the intersection is that you can use the beautiful game to drive a beautiful message. And if we can get soccer fans to rally behind us ending GBV, or at least deterring the acts, we can get much further, you know, than us speaking alone or us just collaborating with other organizations. But I think they are a beautiful platform to influence South Africans to say there's no excuse for abuse. And if we have champion men who can play on the ball, who can play on the pitch and highlight this, Mina, I believe we can get greater reach and greater influence. Yeah. And they can influence the next generation. They can influence people to say, actually, it's not okay. Uguti, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what, no, you can come and join the Champions for Change program.
Yeah.
Join the winning team.
Players join. And just to add,
Exactly.
and
Join the winning
just
team.
to add on that, Yonkinto from the house, you are a role model for abantwana bakho, for your kids. So regardless ukuthi uBennett Parker is on TV, is influence umntwana, it's not like that. It's you in the house to show your kids which direction they need to take. Because if your child sees you ubeka isandla kumuntu wesifazane, naye bakakhula is going to do the same and say ubabami bekashaya mamami because of into so, and which is wrong. But do the right thing ekhaya kuqala before uyangaphandle.
Yeah, definitely. We need more champion for men out there, and it's so easy, you know. The No Excuse program, the No Excuse people, our non-jabulo, you know, and the great team behind her, you know. It's so easy to access the website, you know, the noexcusesa.com website, where there's a lot that you can learn about things that you didn't even know.
Sure.
You know, you'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
So
Things you didn't know could actually affect you.
yeah,
as well,
it could actually affect you. You'll be like, okay, now I know, you know, what's the do's and the don'ts. And also,
isn't the bozienza? It's there. You see, with
You see.
I was doing
Need to
wrong
change,
thing.
yeah,
I need to change my thing.
For sure.
The gentlemen are talking about the tools, Lapha Nonjabulo, and I want you to jump in here as the brand manager rather, to tell us about these tools that you're giving to men and young boys to sort of grow up and understand the responsibilities they have in the community and the society.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think okokuqala it is to explain what the Champions for Change program is. So this is a program that we partnered with an organization called Father in Nation. Because as a brand that really stands to be an icon of positive masculinity, we believe that we can play a different role, maybe in deterring acts of GBV, and that's a preventative method. To say that we can actively change behavior on the ground so that one day we can have a generation of kind of really great men and then deter acts, right? So in our organization as a whole, we do support victims. We have a WhatsApp line. We've partnered with Lifeline and other counselors, but particularly No Excuse is all about the men. To say, men, it is up to you. Ukuthi nikhuzane, nidodisane. Ngumzulu mina ngiyazi ukuthi mengikhula and it can't come from about besifazane, but it has to come from men, And I think Happy alluded to it. Sometimes we think abuse is just the extreme. We think it's just the femicide. We think it's just the hitting. But there's a progress. And so really what the program is about, it's about teaching you. We developed 6 virtues of what we believe is a positive man. And in that course, we're able to take each module and unpack it. Uguti, a good man mentors the next generation. And what does that mean? A good man waters his fields, A good man uses his strength for good. So as for Nugushuguti, we want weak men. We don't want men that are masculine. But you can use your strength for good to love and protect. And so I'd encourage everybody, even if you are umuntu wesifazane, or even if you think you're a good guy, but not just about gender-based violence, but about how do you navigate masculinity and manhood, maybe about some of the things that maybe you didn't have a father, and be able to learn that. And really it's a course that was developed by men for men, for some of men's issues. And then we go and we do workshops across the country so that men can sit in spaces and have honest conversations about some of the struggles that get you from point A to point B. Okay, what do I do? And which is something, a really great tool as well we have is the Brave WhatsApp line. And it's all about reach out before you lash out.
Yeah.
So if you're in a situation of heightened tension or passion, you can WhatsApp Brave to 0800 150 150, and you can have a silent conversation with a mentor. So I think that's some of the most powerful things.
Can you say the number, please, guys?
So you WhatsApp Brave to 0800 150 150. WhatsApp Brave to 0800 150 150. And the reason why I say to you WhatsApp Brave, because the bravest thing you can do is reach out.
Yeah.
It's difficult to talk, and it's difficult to hold that mirror up to yourself. No, I'm at the Dogmela Kale, but in safe spaces.
In safe spaces, yeah.
And have people like Nina to say, okay, as dile, as zame, but the way is not to take it out on your partner. It's not to take it out on other people, but rather work through it. And that's why we do what we do, and we believe injury time is so important, because when you are on the pitch, that 90 minutes, yay, especially if it's nil-nil, what.
My emotion.
Yeah. It's tough, right? But the whole concept about that is that actually the real injuries happen off the field. The real injuries are in our communities, they are in our homes. And unfortunately, for some of those women, they don't get that time back. They don't get the additional 3 minutes to recover their lives. And some of them actually lose their lives. So I think it's a powerful comparison to say the real injury time, it stops now. And it takes everybody sitting here, watching, at home, everywhere, to say it stops with me and we're going to join the champion team and become champions for change.
Thank you so much for that message. And I want to bring it to these two gentlemen because they've got wives and they're raising daughters and sons. And
wives and daughters.
Yes. Just to add, beautiful wives and daughters. Gentlemen, for men who are watching this right now, and she's mentioning that we need to sit or decide. What do you wish men in their own communities could do, to teach young kids, young boys, that the right way to go in life, and as she says, I'm just running out of words here, but the point is how do you then encourage those men who are watching right now to go out into society and speak to the young kids and improve their way of thinking?
I would say firstly to men out there, also to boys out there, because I think also some boys as well, they in schools, things are also happening in schools as well. So I would say, the most important principle is two things. It's to have a role model and also to have a mentor. So once you have a role model and a mentor and you look up to a certain person and you try to one day become successful over another person, or you admire or idolize somebody, then if you should actually follow examples. And when you follow examples, with those examples, you put into practice. When you put into practice as well, you're actually creating a support base, because people could see like this person is doing something nice, this person is doing something good, and eventually you will get a support from people who will recognize that. And I would say that we need to, as men, a little bit decrease our pride and become as brothers. And when we are brothers, we open as brothers. And when we open as brothers, we get to have the shoulder for one another, or get to help each other. Some of us as men, we are providers. We are huge providers. A lot of us, we are providers. And sometimes if you cannot provide anymore, you do not provide how you used to provide, or maybe if you cannot provide at all, that actually triggers something in us as well. And then when that trigger gets to be triggered, you lash out. So I would say, be exemplary, take on a mentor or role model. And then from there on, I am sure things will happen automatically, and things will follow automatically. Happy. I don't know what's your take on that.
No, that's true. I was gonna say, each and every one, there's someone ekasi that we look to him ukuthi ngifuna ukufana nale outile. So bafuna ukufana nale outile, you end up going to that person, get closer to that person with how you do things. He teach you the way of living life, kancane kancane while you're still young. Uploma na makrutmane, they will tell you this and this. No, Ntwana, when I've chiming, most of the time, take it enga yako, uyise chimini, ukhahlela abantu ubuyijabulile, because it's something you love. And football, some of us, it was something that makes us enjoy. Whatever that you're going through in Lini or Skela, once you get to the pitch, when you come back, you smile. So you get someone like that to talk to, then things will be easier for us. You need someone to talk to. Because you are not alone in this. There's everyone that's going to teach you something.
Yes, and everybody goes through challenges. You're not the only one that goes through a challenge, So if we can speak out more,
let's speak more.
I think we should speak out more. And most importantly, when we speak out more, you also get to realize that your problems are not as big as you think. Yeah, you know, I'm like, other people are having bigger problems, you know, then you start to realize that I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, I'm better,
and
you know, I can
sometimes
do better.
I will talk in the scenario when it comes to my injury. You know, my injury, when it came, I was scared to talk about it. Yeah, when someone showed me the picture, and Tamina too, when I get to see the picture overall and talk about the injury, I get healed. Yeah, sure. You know, the more you talk about something, you get help.
Sure. Nah, guys, thank you so much for sharing. I do hope I'll get my shirt so I can be part of the team as well. Yes, I got to be a champion for change. And I do hope that you at home have also learned a thing or two in this conversation. I mean, it was all nice, you know, dining and chatting about Bernard Parker's career. We're not done. He promised us, he said it's going to come back for a part 2, right?
Second half.
Second half.
Sorry.
This was first half.
Remember, we've got second half, extra time and penalties.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you come back, we're taking to extra time and penalties.
Exactly.
All right. You play football, you said?
Me? No, I'm a proud supporter.
Oh, okay.
A very proud
You've
supporter.
never played football?
I've never played, but ngiyacabanga ukuthi.
Therefore.
Yes, something. Konokungahlangani.
Man, yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys for coming and share a lovely story with people. And we say no excuse out here.
No excuse.
No excuse. Yeah. We need to change. Champion men. I'm starting with you.
Yeah.
If I change 1%, I'm okay.
Sure.
So do the right thing.
And I don't need a shirt. I don't need a shirt.
You don't need a shirt.
I don't.
No.
I don't. I know it's funny, but I'm serious. I do want my shirt. But you don't need a shirt to be a champion for change.
Yes, but if you need help, you can always reach out before you lash out. WhatsApp Brave to 0800 150 150. If you want to become a champion for change today, go visit noexcusesa.com and you can start to learn and become a champion for change.
I skip I'm going home. I'm done. Thank you so much. Another great episode, part 2 for Bernard Parker coming very soon. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend that we here at iDiski Dine are dining with the stars.
Tuketi bhokisi kuvele phuma OB.KNOWS no Happy Jele bavula isikhwama esikhulu bakhipha isikhwama esincane bavala isikhwama esikhulu bavula isikhwama esincane bakhipha iDiski Dine bakhipha amaguest kanokusho wozobona izodlala iDiski Dine.